Chris Blair here, coming to you guys from my favorite outdoor little izakaya. Alright, let's dig in. Let's dig in to the #1 most underrated advertising type that I've been leveraging now for 10 years, since 2000 and late 2012 or 2013, and been teaching since. I love engagement ads. I absolutely love engagement ads. They're awesome, and I don't understand why people are not using them. I've been raving and talking about engagement ads for a long, long time, and my private coaching students know they've been doing it. And I had a conversation with people recently saying, "Hey, why does no other trainer or coach or ever teach engagement ads? It doesn't even make sense." So I'm going to talk about this here today. I'm going to go in great detail about it. But actually, as much as I love engagement ads, because I do, you guys can tell from this video I'm pumped up about this video. There are actually 3 times where engagement ads do not work well for e-com products. Let me repeat that. There are actually 3 exceptions where I actually do not recommend it. But other than that, other than those 3 exceptions, fucking use engagement ads. Fucking use them. You are missing out big time. So let's go into that. #1. If you're selling some sort of gadget that requires some sort of explanation, like a video or something that's really technical, right, or some sort of like gadgety thing, right, problem-solving thing from dropshipping from China is typically how this goes. I actually do not recommend engagement ads. The reason being is people typically do not share or tag their friend and say, "Hey, go check out this gadget," or "Hey, I love this gadget," or "Betty, here this great nail chopper, celery chopper or carrot chopper," or whatever. They just don't do that. They just don't. Okay. I don't know why, but they don't. There's now this stuff with the print-on-demand products. There are actually 2 times the print-on-demand products I don't recommend either. Okay? If your product is what I call design-based, okay, and I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. Because most print-on-demand products are called phrase-based. I call them phrase-based. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. In 2012, I got all sorts of terminology because I've really thought this through. Because as a coach or trainer who's been helping people for years, I really need to think this through and help people, right? So I got these different categories I slot products into. Okay. Now, 95 to 98% of print-on-demand products are what I call phrase-based. And what that means is the phrase sells the product, and the design can be good, ideally good, but it can even be bad. If the phrase is good, it'll work. And when the phrase works, then you want to maybe make a better design, but it's a phrase-based success. There's an expression out there called the phrase that pays. I don't know if I'm the first one to say it. I'm a fucking grandfather in this business. The dinosaurs, Michael from Shine On described me. But it's a phrase-based thing, okay, for most of them. But there are design-based. I remember back several years ago, through Pillow Profits, a Chinese-based print-on-demand company, I had a swimsuit that I was selling to ladies that had beer pictures on it. And I knew immediately not to try engagement ads. In fact, what happened was I started with the conversion ads, and I thought, it was selling. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I can get some engagement on this and drive it viral. Even though my inner sense was telling me no. Well, sure enough, I was right. I ran some engagement ads. I spent like $10 in engagement ads, and I got like 3 shares. And I don't think I even got a comment. So that's a design-based. So if your print-on-demand thing is design-based, it just doesn't get that reaction. It doesn't get that, "Oh, I want to share this on my timeline. Oh, I want to tag Betty or Danny and Sue and show them this." It just doesn't happen. Okay, so now, let's go to the phrase-based stuff. With phrase-based products, engagement ads are incredibly powerful. T-shirt, hat, bag, tumbler, water bottle, wall art, canvas. One time I had flip-flops that were selling really well with a funny expression on them. I would say 90 to 95% of print-on-demand products, engagement ads are incredibly powerful. There is one exception, and to be honest, to this day, I'm still mind boggled by this. I don't understand it. I really don't. I've been selling jewelry for a long time. Both the jewelry, the pendant necklaces with a phrase inside the necklace, and also the message card type necklaces. And for whatever reason, for some reason that I still, after years of doing this and years of teaching how to do it, I cannot figure out, people do not share and comment in general on jewelry items. They do occasionally, yes, of course. It's not zero engagement, but it's so low and such a small number that using engagement ads to test, and by the way, scale, I mean that I don't talk about it a lot, but you can actually use engagement ads to scale, doesn't even make sense. In fact, with the jewelry items, the engagement is so low that I don't even do an engagement test. I just go right to conversions. All right, so let's talk about two things. Number one, you have a print-on-demand product that's phrase-based. Two, you have a non-jewelry item print-on-demand product. Non-jewelry, let me repeat that. Non-jewelry item print-on-demand product. You want to test the varieties, and this is why this is so awesome. If you want to really test a conversion ad, right, you got to spend at least 10, and that's actually on the low level, usually $20, $30, $40 to adequately test a product with conversion ads, to really know if it's got a chance or not. I got a whole methodology on using link click costs to cut the sure losers quickly with conversion ads, but if you want to be 100% sure, and you say fuck link click costs, which I don't recommend, by the way. I'm not going to talk about link click costs and using that as a basis for making quick decisions on this video, but the reality is you got to spend $30, $40. That's the reality. Now imagine testing 100 of those. We're talking about $3,000 to $4,000 in testing budget on products that are not making sales. Most of the people are going to go bankrupt for that. But there's a way around that. There's a magic way around that. And that is a $5 engagement ad to a super broad target. Now what I mean by that, if you're in the beer niche, target brewing, beer, Budweiser. If you're in the fishing niche, target fishing. Target Cabela's, the big fishing manufacturer or store, whatever that's called. Remember a store, right? Fishing rod. Take a big, broad target and run a $5 engagement ad to that for a day. And if you are not seeing comments, shares at a decent level on your product, then you know you have a major problem. Because think about this, right? What's the lowest, okay, sorry. What's this? The lowest, easiest action is a like. But what's the second lowest? Valuable action that shows interest. If someone takes the time to comment, think about it, they gotta go in there and say, even if it's a tag, if I want to tag someone, right? I tag people all the time on my post. I gotta type the person's name in, at least half the way, right? Or I gotta say I like this, or if I want to take time to share. So that's an action. Someone's actually taking a physical action that they have to make themselves do on your post. And a like is weak because it's like, it's easy. I sometimes go through my timeline and like shit I didn't even like because my friend posted it. So if you can't get a person, a reasonable number of people to comment or share on your print-on-demand product that's a phrase-based thing, you have basically zero chance of success through conversion. So you literally just spent $5. Oh my God, I'm getting horrible results on engagement. Move on. Now sometimes I get this, and this happens. I'll spend $5, I get like 10, 15 shares, a couple comments, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I'm not sold that this is a winner or a potential winner, but I'm also not like convinced it's a dud. So in that case, I might go another day with the engagement. See how that goes. Okay. So by using engagement ads can drive sales big time. Now let me also talk about something that I don't normally talk about. In fact, I think this may be the only video I've ever talked about it. I think I may make this a rule. I may make a note of it in my notepad. But I want to reward you guys for watching this video. This is something that, as far as I can remember, I've only talked about on coaching calls. Okay, so we've had some products. I've had some products and so have coaching students where we run a $5 engagement ad. It's getting crazy shares, like insane, like literally like $5, 50, 60, 70 shares. Guys, I've had one product, I remember $5. I was like, I went back, I literally saw it on my phone. I'm like, that can't be possible. So I went to my computer, looked at it, refreshed the screen twice. It can't be possible. Went back to I opened my iPad and I looked at my wife and said, fucking holy shit. This thing had 97 shares on $5.12. And I remember this because it was so astonishing that was mind-boggling. And it also had 21 comments. Now, an interesting and this is when I learned this lesson. I always thought, okay, fine, I got an engagement ad, maybe I can engagement ad going and that kind of viral reach, but I'm gonna drive the big sales with conversion. That's always been my process, and that is still my process in general. But here's the but. This particular product, when I ran conversion ads for it, for a reason that I still don't know to this day. If you ask me to explain, I can't explain it. But I was making sales. It was an $18, $50 profit margin per sale, and I was making sales about $22 per conversion per sale per conversion ads. I was losing money every time I used conversion ads to sell it, and I was mind-boggled because, again, the comments and the shares just kept going and going and going. And I was like, fuck, I spent like, I don't remember the numbers now, $30 some on my engagement ad, and I've got like 900 shares. Like, what the fuck? Why am I losing money running conversion ads? It doesn't make sense, even though I'm making sales. So my wife, actually being smarter than me, says, Chris, why don't you turn off the conversion ads and throw a lot of money at the engagement ads and see what happens? This is 4 years ago, I remember this. That's exactly what I did. I upped the budget on I turned off the conversion ads. I upped the budget to I think 50. I don't remember my exact, honestly, I don't remember my exact upping. The numbers, I went from 1 to 1 to 1, but I went from like 5 to about 50, then I went to 100, and I went so on and so on and so on and so on and so on, to the point where I was spending $800 a day on engagement ads. And that's the only campaign I had running. One engagement campaign, and dude, it got, I'm not even gonna say the numbers, because if I say this number of shares and comments I had on this, you guys are gonna think I'm full of shit, and if you can think that all you want, but I'm not even bothered. Let's just say they got an astronomical number of comments and shares, and it made a huge amount of money. And even though, yes, with engagement ads, I can't really track the sales, it's clearly because so much comes from shares and comments, people seeing it. But that product made me a boatload of money. In fact, to be honest, for a short period of time, it was one of my most profitable products ever. Now, I will say this, it was a trend. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Trending products, some sort of hot topic. If you use engagement ads